The Monogatari series is pretty weird, both in terms of how it's set up and how the show is in general. Its anime adaptation doesn't follow the usual anime format. Usually I have to explain the situation to people that want to watch it, and it can be somewhat confusing, so I decided to make this go-to video to make it easier and so I can go in a bit more detail as to why the format is the way it is. So you see, rarely ever are animes their own original series. More often than not, they are based off of some sort of source material, usually a manga or a light novel. In most cases, the anime adaptations of these source materials are usually either split into a season or two, or just one standalone series that goes on forever. But in terms of Monogatari, neither is really the case. The Monogatari series comes from a light novel series called Monogatari series. If you're not sure what a light novel is, it's essentially like a normal novel series, but instead of being like a movie-like format like most books, they're more in a show or manga-like format in which there are volumes and such. Now, the Monogatari light novel series is split up into 3 seasons: first season, second season, and final season. Now let's go over first season first. First season contains 4 main arcs: Bakemonogatari, which is volumes 1 to 2, Monogatari, which is just volume 3, Monogatari, which is 4 through 5, and Monogatari Koro, or Black, which is 6. Now before we get into the adaptations, let me explain something first. The Monogatari series is chronologically scrambled, or at least especially in terms of first season. Bake, while it is the first arc, is actually chronologically the 3rd arc. Kizu is supposed to be the very first arc. Nisei is the last arc after Bake, and Neko is the 2nd arc before Bake. So if we were to go chronologically, we would go Kizu, Neko, Bake, and Nisei. But these arcs weren't released in that order, and I think the author did that on purpose to make things a bit more interesting. So you're not supposed to experience them chronologically, at least maybe not for the first time watching. You're supposed to watch it scrambled. So anyway, let's get into the actual adaptations of first season. Bakemonogatari was made into a 15-minute anime series first. Kizu was skipped and is to be released as an anime movie eventually, but it still hasn't come out. So Monogatari was then released as its own anime series with 11 episodes. Then Monogatari was released as its own standalone 4-episode series all at once. So as you see, this isn't your normal format, and they decided to do it a little differently when it comes to second season. And this is where people especially start to get confused. The anime adaptation of second season was literally just called the same thing. It was its own 26-episode anime series called Monogatari series second season. This is confusing in terms of most anime because Nisei would have been considered the second season, and Neko would have been considered the 3rd, technically, even though it's so short. So if we were to follow that logic, second season would actually be the 4th season. Confusing, I know, but you shouldn't look at this series that way. The anime doesn't really have seasons, they're just individual adaptations of the light novel arcs. But anyway, the reason they probably did this is because, for one thing, already splitting one series season into 4 different individual series was probably kind of making it get out of hand. Not only that, the difference between second season is that there are no arcs that span over one volume like first season. Each volume is its own arc, so if they were to give each their own series, they would all be about the length of Neko and only be a few episodes long. So there would be an additional 6 more individual series to add to the already 3 that have been made. That would make 9 different series. 10 if you were to include Kizo, even though it's not out yet. So naturally, putting all second season into one anime season makes it a lot easier and more organized. However, there's one little exception. All of the volumes were included in the anime of second season except for one, Monogatari. Exactly why, I'm not sure. I guess they didn't have a budget for more than 26 episodes, and or they couldn't finish in time. Either way, it was planned to be released in May as its own short 4-episode series similar to Neko. However, it was delayed and is now coming in on August 15th at the time of this video, with all 4 episodes released on the same day. That's how Neko was released too, as far as I know. So that's it for second season. As for final season, there are no current anime adaptations, and as far as I know, the actual season hasn't been completed yet anyway. Now, as I said before, the way a lot of the novel series is scrambled, but since situations like Kizo and Hana being skipped, the anime series is even more scrambled, interestingly. In the light novels, Kizu was told right after Bake, but in the anime series, we still don't know exactly what originally caused everything. We still don't know the origin of the series. Everything after the third volume was technically written with the intent of you knowing what has happened in Kizo, but as I said, we don't know that. Also, since Hana was skipped, it's the same situation with second season, with all those volumes after the third being written with the knowledge of it in mind. But it's okay, because the scrambled format makes things even more interesting, if you ask me. So here's the order you were supposed to watch the series in: Bakemonogatari, Nisei Monogatari, Neko Monogatari Kuro, or Black, Monogatari series, second season, Hana Monogatari, and finally, when it comes out, Kizo Monogatari. Unless they don't even release that after Hana Monogatari and decide to do it in the middle or end of final season or something, I guess we'll see. Again, one last time: Bake, Nisei, Neko, second season, and Hana. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the insanity that is the Monogatari series.